and
Okay, $20. My name's Jim Balston. How are you? No.
and we are where?
We are on the 9th floor at 111 St. Clair. This is the mechanical floor. This services the whole building except for the basement floors.
And you were just saying about the copper.
Yeah, this whole midsection of this fan is solid copper because it takes moisture type thing, right? Whereas most fans you see use the steam humidifiers, and this uses spray water, right? So.
And Jim, you've been here since when?
1983, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty old. So, yeah, this is pretty interesting. This is a 2-story fan. CFM wise, I've only guessed it's about 100,000, right? That's a lot of air moving, right? Mm-hmm. And it's no problems with fresh air in this building with these things, the old manual ones, right? But it's a shame, but look at it.
And the mechanical, where else in the building are there mechanical?
The mechanical floors are 3B, 2B, 9th floor, 22 and 23.
And the 3B, 2B was, I saw sort of a 2-story thing happening,
Yes.
Same as here.
Yeah, they used to, back in the day before my time, they had 2-story boilers downstairs, and that's why there's a cutaway in the boiler room, and it's got like double-story ceilings in it. Basically, the basement floors did all the heating. That's all the boilers, all the chillers, and all our pumps that cool the building and heat the building. These are, 9th floor is just mostly air handlers type thing, so, and hot water tanks, but there's some interesting equipment up here, but as we walk down there, I'll
Could you show me? Yeah.
Sure. And these are all separate fans for different parts of the building, right? You got a separate cafeteria fan. This does anything behind the stairwells all the way up the building and down to the second basement, or it's down to the second floor.
And so there are actual windows here.
Yes.
Yes.
If you look at the outside of the building, you'll see glass blocks. That's behind those walls, so that just shows you it's a mechanical room. It's funny they didn't leave them open so you get daylight in here, but you know, I guess it was for looks, eh?
Do you get anything, or they're completely blocked?
They're blocked totally by this. This is glazed stone, right?
So it's purely for decoration.
It's not structural at all. No.
No, but the outside, the glass block is purely
It's
decoration.
Yeah, there's no lights behind there or anything, which make it look kind of neat. But
I didn't know
that. Did that back in the day, right?
I didn't know that.
This building was so efficient back in the day. But in the 80s, they came through here just before my days. That was the big energy crunch. Mm-hmm. They jumped out a lot of controls, took a lot of equipment out of here, and this building really never worked the same after that. Just too many people playing with the old controls and all that.
Why would they have done that?
Because it's the energy. Everybody and their brother would say, "Oh, we can save you millions of dollars a year if you do this." It's not true. Yeah. It never worked, man.
And it's funny, they were working for an energy company.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. But ESSO was pretty good on stuff like that, keeping up to date, right, on all the latest and greatest technologies, right?
And in the day, this would be, how would this be humming?
This would be very loud, right? You've probably got about 14, I don't know, they look like about 25 horsepower motors going. Yeah. So it was, you could talk, no problem, but it was noisy, right?
Yeah.
These pumps here, these are real interesting. These are high and low light pumps, they call them. Mm-hmm. What they do is they circulate water through the lights in the building, and then they reclaim it and send it back to the heating system. So, and that also cooled the transformers or the ballast in the lights.
Now, I've seen that. It's their coils that run around the fluorescent lights.
That's right. Every fluorescent light has them in the building.
It's amazing. And
sure is.
Did it ever leak? I mean,
many times. Many times. You had lots of calls. Just, solder gets old after 40 years, right? And it just kind of breaks down and blows. And, we used to run these a lot. And used to be able to get about 2 degrees, 3 degrees Celsius off difference. Off the lights coming back. So it's something, right?
So the process was that the water is running around the fluorescent light fixtures.
That's right.
Heats up,
takes the heat from the light, sends it back down here, and we use the heat to heat the fans. Right? Pretty interesting.
Like
Mostly
really,
that's winter. In the summertime we didn't run them because if the water was too cold, it condensed and drip into the ceiling and then mold and whatever, right? So mostly the winter deal. These things are, plus if you look at these things, which are rare, I haven't seen many of these in my life. These are flow meters. And they tell me how many gallons per minute I'm pumping through the lights type thing. And that's hundreds of gallons per minute, right? Those settings. Pretty old though, eh? But you can see it's still got the original tags on it. Right?
Yeah.
Knew what's on the inside of that. Yeah. And nobody's touched these things since they were put in. That's the inspection tags when they're new, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
So that whole system with the lights was working up until when?
If the lights were still there, I could turn it on today.
So
Right?
it worked for 50 years.
Well, since 1955 it worked, right? And I could start them up. Like I said, if the lights were still hooked up and the piping, I could turn it on. It worked tomorrow.
Amazing.
Yeah.